Hey Leo, welcome back. I need to talk to you about something really significant that's coming through in your reading today. So I just sat down with my deck, and the energy that came through for you was honestly one of those moments where I had to pause and really take it in. There's someone in a committed situation who has you occupying so much space in their thoughts right now. And I'm not talking about a casual passing thought. This is deep, consuming, and it's creating quite a situation for this person. Before we get into the cards, I just want to say that this reading is coming through with a lot of intensity, and I'm going to share exactly what I'm seeing without sugarcoating anything. The universe has some really interesting information for you, Leos, right now. The first card that came out for your reading is the Four of Pentacles, and this card is already telling us so much about this person's current situation. When I see the Four of Pentacles in this context, I'm immediately picking up on someone who is holding on very tightly to their current life structure. This is a person who has built something stable, something secure, and they're in a position where they're afraid to lose what they have. We're talking about someone who is likely married or in a very serious committed partnership, and they've got this life that looks good on paper. But here's what's fascinating about the Four of Pentacles showing up first. This card represents control and security, but it also represents fear. This person is holding on so tight to their current situation that their knuckles are basically white. They've got their arms wrapped around their material security, their social status, maybe their family structure, and they're terrified of what would happen if they let go. Think about it, like someone who's clutching a life raft even though they know how to swim. What I'm getting strongly here is that this person is very aware of their feelings for you, Leo, but they're caught in this internal battle between what their heart wants and what their logical mind is telling them to maintain. They might present themselves as someone who has it all together, someone who's stable and secure in their relationship, but internally there's this war happening. Every time they think about you, which is often, they're also thinking about everything they stand to lose if they were to act on these feelings. This Four of Pentacles energy also suggests that this person might be somewhat possessive or controlling in their current relationship. Not necessarily in a toxic way, but in a way where they like to maintain order and predictability. You, Leo, represent something that threatens that order, and that's both terrifying and exhilarating for them. The fact that they can't stop thinking about you despite their desire to maintain control tells me just how powerful this connection really is. I'm also picking up that this person might be in a relationship where there's financial entanglement, shared assets, maybe children, or some kind of situation where leaving isn't as simple as just walking away. The Four of Pentacles often shows up when someone feels financially or materially trapped. So when they're thinking about you at night, they're also calculating what it would mean to disrupt their entire life structure. Moving to the second card, and I pulled the World, which is absolutely fascinating in this context. The World card is about completion, fulfillment, and achieving a sense of wholeness. But here's what's coming through really strongly for me. This person sees you as representing something complete, something whole, something that feels like it could be their world. There's this sense that when they think about you, they're not just thinking about a crush or an attraction. They're envisioning an entire different life, a complete picture of what could be. The World card suggests that this person has reached a point of completion in their current relationship, even if they haven't fully admitted it to themselves. They might be going through the motions, maintaining appearances, but internally they feel like that chapter has run its course. They've learned what they needed to learn, they've experienced what they needed to experience, and now there's this feeling of having arrived at an ending even though the actual ending hasn't happened yet. What's really interesting is how the World interacts with the Four of Pentacles we just talked about. Here's someone who has achieved worldly success and completion in the material sense. They've built this life, they've got the stability, but there's something missing. And when they think about you, Leo, you represent a different kind of completion. You represent emotional fulfillment, passion, excitement, and a sense of coming full circle to who they really are, rather than who they've become in their current situation. I'm getting this vision of someone who lies awake at night, their partner sleeping beside them, and they're staring at the ceiling thinking about you. They're thinking about conversations you've had, moments you've shared, or maybe even just the potential of what could be. And in those moments, they're seeing this whole alternate reality play out. They're seeing themselves free, happy, living authentically, and you're right there in that vision. That's the World card energy. It's not just attraction. It's a complete reimagining of their entire existence. The World also suggests cycles and karma. There's this sense that this person believes meeting you wasn't random. They might feel like there's some kind of destiny or fate involved, like the universe orchestrated your paths crossing for a reason. This adds another layer to why they can't stop thinking about you. It's not just chemistry. It's this deeper feeling that you're meant to be part of their story in a significant way. Now, the third card I pulled is Judgment. And Leo, this is where things get really deep. Judgment is about awakening, rebirth, and hearing a higher calling. This person isn't just casually thinking about you during their free time. What's happening is that thinking about you is triggering a massive internal awakening for them. You're making them question everything about their life choices, their relationship, their path, their authenticity. It's like you've become this catalyst for their spiritual and emotional evolution, and they can't unhear that call now that it's been activated. The Judgment card often appears when someone is being called to rise up to a higher version of themselves. This person recognizes that staying in their current situation, continuing to play it safe with the Four of Pentacles energy, is keeping them small. When they think about you, they're simultaneously thinking about who they could become if they had the courage to answer this call. They see you as someone who represents growth, transformation, and living more authentically. You're not just a romantic interest to them. You're a mirror showing them all the ways they've been playing it safe and small in their current life. What's coming through really strongly is that this person is experiencing a kind of judgment day in their own mind. They're reviewing their life choices, their relationship, their values, and they're being honest with themselves in ways they haven't been before. And every time they think about you, it's like another piece of truth clicks into place. They're realizing that they've been settling, that they've been choosing security over authenticity, that they've been living for others rather than for themselves. The Judgment card is also about being called to account for your choices. This person is aware that they're at a point where they need to make a decision. They can't keep mentally and emotionally investing in you while maintaining their committed relationship indefinitely. The universe is asking them to choose, to step up, to be honest about what they really want. And the fact that they keep thinking about you, that they can't shake you from their mind, is the universe's way of making sure they can't ignore this call. I'm also getting that this person might be experiencing some guilt or moral conflict. The Judgment card can bring up feelings of being judged, either by themselves or by others. They know that their feelings for you, given their committed status, might be seen as wrong or inappropriate by society, their family, or their social circle. So part of why they can't stop thinking about you is because they're also constantly wrestling with this moral dimension. The fourth card that came through is the Chariot, and this is adding such an interesting dynamic to this reading. The Chariot is all about determination, willpower, and controlled forward movement. What I'm picking up here is that this person is trying so hard to control their thoughts and feelings about you. They're using every ounce of willpower they have to stay focused on their current path, to maintain their commitment, to keep their life moving in the direction it's been going. But here's the thing. The more they try to control these thoughts, the more persistent they become. The Chariot shows someone who's harnessing opposing forces and trying to direct them toward a single goal. In this case, those opposing forces are their commitment to their current relationship and their growing feelings for you. They're trying to hold the reins tight, maintain control, and steer their life in a straight line. But you, Leo, are this powerful force pulling them in a completely different direction, and no matter how tightly they grip those reins, they can feel the pull. What's really interesting about the Chariot in this position is that it suggests this person is actually taking action in their mind. They're not passive about this situation. They might be actively trying to avoid you, limit contact, distract themselves with work or hobbies, or double down on their current relationship. Try to make these thoughts go away. But here's what happens with the Chariot energy when you're fighting against your true feelings. The effort required to maintain that control becomes exhausting. I'm also getting that this person prides themselves on their self-control and discipline. They might be someone who has always been able to control their emotions, make rational decisions, and stay on course no matter what distractions come their way. But you're different, Leo. You're not just a distraction they can power through. You're a completely different destination calling to them, and their usual strategies of willpower and determination aren't working the way they normally do. The fifth card is the Ace of Wands, and Leo, this card is absolutely fire. The Ace of Wands represents passion, inspiration, creative energy, and the spark of something new wanting to be born. This is where we really get into why this person can't stop thinking about you. The Ace of Wands is telling me that what this person feels when they think about you is pure, raw, passionate energy. We're talking about that electric spark, that undeniable chemistry that makes their whole body come alive. This isn't a gentle, comfortable attraction. This is the kind of energy that makes their heart race, their palms sweat, and their mind completely light up. When they think about you, they feel more alive than they've felt in years, possibly ever in their current relationship. What I'm really picking up strongly with the Ace of Wands is that this person has been living in a state of emotional and passionate dormancy. Their current relationship might be stable, comfortable, even good in many ways, but it lacks this spark. It lacks this fire. And then you came along, Leo, and suddenly they remember what it feels like to be truly ignited by another person. They remember what desire feels like, what excitement feels like, what it's like to feel butterflies and anticipation, and that delicious nervousness that comes with powerful attraction. The Ace of Wands is also about creative potential and new beginnings. When this person thinks about you, they're not just thinking about romance or attraction. They're thinking about all the possibilities, all the adventures you could have together, all the ways life could be different and more vibrant. They're seeing creative potential. Maybe you two working on something together, traveling together, building something new together. You represent this untapped potential for a completely different life experience. I'm also getting with the Ace of Wands that there might be a sexual dimension to these thoughts that's quite intense. This card rules passion and desire, and this person is likely experiencing some very strong physical attraction to you. They might find themselves daydreaming about intimate moments with you, and these thoughts are both thrilling and guilt-inducing given their situation. The raw, primal energy of the Ace of Wands doesn't care about logic or commitment or social propriety. The final card, the sixth card in your reading, is the Six of Wands. And Leo, this is such a telling card to end on. The Six of Wands is about victory, recognition, and public acknowledgement. What's coming through here is that this person actually fantasizes about being with you openly, publicly, victoriously. They don't just think about secret moments or hidden feelings. They think about what it would be like to actually be with you, to have you as their partner, to introduce you to people, to post pictures with you, to claim you publicly. The Six of Wands suggests that in their mind, being with you represents some kind of victory or achievement. Maybe you're someone who's accomplished, attractive, charismatic, or inspiring in some way, and they see being with you as winning some kind of prize. Not in a shallow way, but in the sense that they feel like you're someone special, someone remarkable, and being chosen by you would be this incredible validation. What's really interesting about the Six of Wands is that it's about public recognition. This tells me that part of what this person thinks about is the public aspect of being with you. They might imagine leaving their current relationship and starting fresh with you. And in their mind, this isn't something shameful or hidden. They imagine it as stepping into a better, more authentic version of their life. And they imagine people seeing them happy with you and recognizing that they've made a brave choice. The Six of Wands can also indicate that this person sees you as someone who brings out the best in them, someone who makes them feel like a winner, just by association. When they're around you or thinking about you, they feel more confident, more capable, more like the person they want to be. You inspire them to be better, to achieve more, to live bigger. So Leo, let me bring all of this together for you. What we have here is someone in a committed relationship who is completely consumed with thoughts of you because you represent everything they feel is missing from their current life. The Four of Pentacles shows they're holding tight to their security. The World shows they see you as a complete vision of a different life. Judgment shows you're triggering a massive awakening in them. The Chariot shows they're trying to control these feelings with willpower. The Ace of Wands shows the passionate fire you've ignited in them, and the Six of Wands shows they fantasize about being with you openly and victoriously. This is someone who is genuinely struggling with a profound internal conflict. They have real feelings for you, powerful feelings, and these aren't going away. Every time they try to focus on their current relationship, their mind wanders back to you. Every time they tell themselves to stop thinking about you, something reminds them of you, and the whole cycle starts again. Now, what you do with this information is entirely up to you, Leo. I'm not here to tell you whether you should pursue this connection or walk away from it. That's a decision only you can make based on your own values and what you want for your life. What I can tell you is that this person's thoughts of you are very real, very intense, and not likely to fade anytime soon. They're at a crossroads, and while they haven't made their choice yet, you're a major part of their internal deliberation. For those of you Leo folks who resonated with this reading, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment and let me know if this matched your situation. And remember, whatever unfolds here, make sure you're honoring your own worth and not settling for breadcrumbs or halfway connections. All right, Leo, that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you today. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and trust that the universe is guiding you toward whatever is meant for you.